If you already know what to do, why haven't you done it?
Why do you keep avoiding the changes you know you need? Not the dramatic changes, the obvious ones. The conversations you keep postponing, the habits you know are hurting you, the decisions you already understand need to happen. Because deep down, you already know. You've thought about it more than once, maybe for months, maybe for years. And yet, nothing really changes. Not because you're incapable, not because you're lazy, but because change is rarely just about action. It's about discomfort. And most people don't realize how much of their life is quietly organized around avoiding uncomfortable feelings. So instead of moving forward, they stay where things feel familiar, even when familiar is slowly making them unhappy.
The mind naturally prefers what feels safe, even when that safety is damaging, because predictable discomfort often feels less threatening than uncertain change. You may hate your current situation, but at least you understand it. You know how to function inside it. You know what to expect. Change removes that certainty. It forces you into unfamiliar territory where outcomes are unclear, identities shift, and control feels weaker. And the brain interprets that uncertainty as danger. So instead of acting, you delay. You overthink. You wait for motivation. You tell yourself you need more clarity first. But most of the time, clarity is not the issue. The issue is emotional resistance. You already know what needs to happen. What you're really avoiding is the discomfort attached to becoming someone different.
This avoidance becomes subtle over time. You stop seeing it as avoidance. You call it being realistic, being careful, waiting for the right moment. And because those explanations sound reasonable, you stop questioning them. But something strange happens when you stay in that state for too long. Your standards slowly adapt to your inaction. The life you once wanted starts to feel distant, then optional, then unrealistic. Not because it was impossible, but because repetition shapes belief. The longer you avoid necessary change, the more normal your current situation feels, even if it drains you, even if part of you knows you're meant for something different.
Most people imagine change as one big decision, but real change usually begins much earlier. It begins the moment you stop lying to yourself, the moment you admit, this is no longer working. Not intellectually, emotionally, because there's a difference between understanding something and finally becoming tired enough to confront it. And until that emotional threshold is reached, people tend to remain stuck in cycles they already recognize. They keep repeating patterns they complain about, keep tolerating things they secretly resent, not because they enjoy suffering, but because familiar suffering still feels safer than uncertain growth. That is why awareness alone is rarely enough. You can understand your problem completely and still avoid changing it.
Avoidance also creates another problem. It divides your identity. There's the version of you that knows what should happen, and the version that keeps postponing it. Over time, the distance between those two versions grows, and that gap creates frustration. Not because you lack potential, but because your actions stop matching your awareness. You begin to feel disconnected from yourself. You lose trust in your own intentions. You say things will change, but internally, you stop believing your own words. And slowly, hesitation becomes your default response. Not action, not commitment, hesitation. That's why avoidance becomes so dangerous over time. It doesn't only delay progress, it weakens the relationship you have with yourself.
The difficult truth is that most meaningful changes never feel comfortable in the beginning. There is usually uncertainty, resistance, fear. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because your mind is leaving what feels predictable. And that discomfort is not always a warning sign. Sometimes, it's evidence that growth is finally happening. The problem is that many people interpret emotional discomfort as a signal to stop, so they retreat back into familiar habits, familiar routines, familiar excuses. And each time they do, they reinforce the same life they claim they want to escape. Real change often starts quietly, not with confidence, but with willingness. Because the life you want usually exists behind the discomfort you keep avoiding, behind the difficult conversation, the necessary decision, the uncertainty you've been trying to escape. And the longer you postpone those moments, the heavier they become. Not because the change itself grows impossible, but because avoidance slowly shapes your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who delays, someone who hesitates, someone who never fully moves. And eventually, that becomes more painful than the discomfort you were trying to avoid in the first place. The truth is, you probably already know what needs to change. The real question is, how much longer are you willing to stay where you are just to avoid feeling uncomfortable for a while? Because comfort has a hidden cost. And sometimes, the greatest risk in life is not failure. It's spending years avoiding the very changes that could have transformed you. If this video made you pause for a moment, there's a good chance other patterns in your life are hiding in silence too. Subscribe to One Choice Away for more videos about psychology, behavior, self-awareness, and the quiet decisions shaping your future. And if this topic connected with you, keep watching. Your next realization might already be waiting in the next video.